Guys, what's going on? Chris and Joe Moore here.
Yeah, it's a weird episode.
It's a very odd episode. So episodes have not been going up recently. Roger and I actually have an episode backlog that I have to finish going through and editing. We're trying to chop episodes up now.
Dude, I know that feeling.
So we're sitting down for 2 hours at a time, recording everything and then chopping it up into a few episodes.
Right.
That's such a bitch.
Yeah, no, it's a big pain in the ass.
But the thing that, so when you stop and start a new episode, you fucking lose momentum.
Absolutely.
You've done the 20 and 30 minute episodes with us. It just kind of kicks your ass.
Yeah.
So going to this, we're trying to nix that losing of the steam.
Okay.
And Jesus. Oh my God. It is so much harder to keep up with.
Yes. No, I totally know the feeling. What with my as yet unreleased D&D podcast where we record like 4 to 7 episodes at a time, and then I have to chop them to pieces and edit out all the excess.
When you get ready to post them, give me the episode content for your first one,
right?
And I'll post it on Entertain the Geeky too.
Okay,
and then we can get it out there for everybody, and just make sure you let them know where to get it.
Right. No, for sure. There will always be that's part of the chopping process is post editing ad spot into the middle because they're like hour episodes, and I'll do like a half-hour break, 5 to 10 minute like ad spot thing, and then the rest of the episode.
Mike Brodeur and I are doing a podcast called Who Wears the Pants.
Yeah. I've got your latest episode of that downloaded. I haven't listened to it yet.
How have you downloaded it?
Huh?
I've not even posted.
You guys had something listed for it, didn't you?
No, nothing.
No, what did I download then?
Not
it might have
ours.
just been the latest episode of something then.
I was going to say,
there might be something with a similar enough name, I just wasn't paying attention.
They're all sitting on my computer right now.
Okay.
I've been very, very careful about what's happening with them.
I will have to check my app because it was also like 2 a.m. when I was doing this. So it might have just been something similarly named, and I just thought it was you guys.
Love you, babe. See ya. That's one where we're not doing the I've editing is disgusting. She didn't close the door all the way. Editing is disgusting. Oh yeah. And you can take the gun if you want. Or
I mean, it's never a bad idea.
Babe, you want this? Okay. So what he was adamant on, he's like, we have to have some editing, and I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm cool with doing minimal editing. I still don't want to squander the just the beauty that is a conversation.
Right. No.
So,
in this form of podcast, absolutely not.
And with Who Wears the Pants, I mean, it's straight up just we sit there and feed off each other. So if I edit something out, it gets nasty.
Yeah.
But doing that, so I'm going through editing, and I'm like, I don't even want to cut this out. Like it's so fucking good, and it's for that particular podcast. Mike Brodeur has been with the same person for 27 years almost.
Has it been that long?
It's been that long for them. 26 years, yeah, almost 27. I've been with Tara for 7 years now.
Yep.
Well, next month it'll be 7 years.
Next month. Okay.
So long fucking time.
Yeah.
And basically we were like, well, let's do a relationship podcast and tell people how to survive a relationship.
That's good. I feel like you guys would have some experience between you. Advice.
Surviving it is is the key there.
Right.
But we're having a blast with it, and it is so fucking bizarre sharing those thoughts and ideas because it's a very different thing than what I'm used to doing here.
Right. Absolutely.
Here I fucking get to nerd out, and like we do a little bit there, but it's so minimal.
Right.
So
it's something that occasionally comes up.
Yeah, you might be like, oh, and I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah.
And there's one fucking person there that gets it.
Right.
I know the listeners don't because most of them aren't gamers.
Yeah.
So,
generally not at that point.
So I guess you and I are going to just jump right into the nitty gritty of what we're going to get into today.
Yeah.
And work. This was your suggestion.
It was because of you tagging me on something way earlier earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Like really early this morning.
So
anyways,
we got a leaked Hellboy trailer.
Yeah, it leaked. It's now taken down.
It's gone.
We're going to rewatch it again
right before this,
doing this, and it's gone. Hopefully it'll be out, like released in HD soon.
I'm sure in the next 48 hours it will be.
Probably. I mean, it comes out in April. It's got to be hitting the
Well, that's how these
soon.
cookies crumble. Like we've seen the fucking leaked Avengers ones.
Yeah.
We know how all this works.
Yeah.
So we got to see David Harbour as Hellboy in action for the first time. Not the picture that looks amazing.
And much more hair than Ron Perlman's had.
Much more hair.
Also loose.
More red.
Yeah.
He is a vibrant fucking red now. It's not that deep, dingy red that we're accustomed to.
It was a very vibrant crimson, which is fantastic.
They went for they made this look like it was torn out of the page of a comic book. Not necessarily a Hellboy comic book.
Right.
Not that it looks bad.
No.
But
the coloration also gave me like big nostalgia for the original, because there's a lot of blue tones which really set off.
It
his
enhances
color.
that red.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
No, it's good, and I'm not no complaints here.
No.
We all knew that Harbour looked good.
Yeah. Those first couple images we got of him were real good.
And then we got one recently.
And the poster from NYCC it looks so good.
Excalibur, and you're just like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks amazing.
No, that was how, because of him holding Excalibur, that's how I found out it was the Wild Hunt that they're using for the bases for this. Because there wouldn't be another reason for him to really just be hanging around a sword. Unless we were going like full bore and doing Hellboy in Hell, but I feel that's real hard to just jump into.
I thought I had an inkling that maybe that's what they were gonna do. Given,
I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route, but that's a weird way to start.
I agree, but given the scale of what David Harbour's done already with Stranger Things, that guy can really only go to hell at this point and have it make sense.
I'm fine with that. I mean, if we get like a trilogy out of this where we end up like the third one ends up being a full
fucking trilogy,
yeah, that'd be good. My biggest complaint about Mike Mignola is not allowing that to happen.
That was some the petitions that went for that one. I was like, oh, this is gonna happen.
I know. Fucking, I was so stoked when Guillermo del Toro had that thing on his Twitter, like, hey, if people want it, like, I need like 100,000,
and he got like 7 million signatures.
Yeah, and he needed it to happen in like 24 hours, and he had tripled the goal by like 4.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, but the movie looks beautiful thus far.
Yeah. I mean, I've only so far got like a couple complaints from what I saw of it, and it's just from a standpoint of being a longtime Hellboy comic.
You're a
fan.
fanboy,
a little bit, yeah. The main thing I was hoping for that isn't super detrimental to the story is that we do more of what the comic book did, where like the BPRD wasn't a shadow organization. Like you could look them up in the phone book, call them Hellboy. Everybody knows he exists.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping for that, just because you don't get that kind of a take on supernatural themes a lot, and I like that sort of thing. But I got the feeling from a couple moments in the trailer that it's still very cloak and dagger.
So I think the reason for that is because of the extreme... with the initial Hellboy series, it was because of the limited knowledge of Hellboy.
Right.
The masses had no idea who he was, so the best way to bring that character to light, I think, was, hey...
Yeah, no, he's
underground. Yeah.
Right.
And people are like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And that probably got readers for that series.
Oh, I'm sure.
But going into this new one, everybody knows who it is now.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense to kind of take that more comic-esque approach.
Yeah.
And really hit the ground running with.
Which I was hoping for that, and I was hoping we would also just like skip over any sort of origin, which we didn't see anything like that in the trailer, but not definitively one way or the other. Because I think at this point we can just skip over that.
That's one of the things that's so hard about these movies, but Mike being the person that he is,
mm-hmm.
I could actually see him skipping over it.
I hope so.
Well, if you think about it, look at his track record, just with how he's fucking written the comics.
Yeah.
He'll take 10 years off, come back and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get back into the series now.
Yeah, right where he left off.
Yeah, there's zero context. It's like, hey, here we go.
No, and a great example for the source material ish for this movie from The Wild Hunt is like one of the characters we saw her in the trailer. Don't ask me to remember or pronounce her last name because it's excessively old Irish and very long. But Alice, the girl with the dreadlocks in the trailer. She was a baby in one earlier Hellboy story, The Corpse, and then the next time you see her as a grown adult in The Wild Hunt.
That's amazing.
And there's no reference there until later in the.
Doesn't need to be.
Yeah. Well, I think Mike just like skips over like who that is.
But he knew.
Yeah, he knew.
I think that's one of the things, like, okay, I've written things. And even if you're writing backstory for a character,
right?
Like, there are vast plot points that you kind of skip over. Yeah. They matter. Yeah. They could be brought up later. But right now, this is the meat and taters.
Right.
And if he does something along the lines of that, bravo.
Right. No, like, I'm totally down. Alice might be one of my only other complaints, just because she's supposed to be like an Irish witch, and in the trailer she's a black girl. Which, don't get me wrong, if she's a good actress, I don't care. It's just one of those things, like, if you complain about Hugh Jackman being too tall for Wolverine, I'm gonna complain about you making a white character black, a black character white, Mexican character.
Well, could you imagine the outrage there would
Asian.
be if fucking T'Challa would have been a white dude?
I mean, yeah. No,
the internet would have shit.
And honestly, like, this movie has that kind of thing because Ben Daimo, I can't remember the name of the actor who's playing him, but like in the comics was an Asian American character, and we got an Asian American actor for it, but originally it was Ed Skrein, if I remember correctly, the bad guy from the first Deadpool movie.
Okay.
And he stepped away because of whitewashing backlash.
I mean, that's what's so tough. Like, not that we normally get political here, not that's something that we're gonna lean toward, but it's weird with that,
right?
Because you can whitewash and it's really bad, but if you color wash, that's the only way that I can really put that. Is that an acceptable way to put that? Not really, but I don't have another way of wording it.
There is a term. I don't remember what it is.
The opposite of whitewashing.
Yes.
Is that okay? And
a lot more people are okay with it.
I think that's ultimately up to the viewers.
Again, my perspective on it is,
if it fucks up,
I don't care what the color of the character is, as long as the actor's good. But if we're gonna try to stick true to a source material and complain about one character not being close, why is another character?
I say just stay close to the source material,
but
introduce new characters.
Regardless of that, I'm looking forward to her, like, as a character. The one that rocked me is the idea of I could never say her name right, Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, Mila Jovovich.
As Nimue, the Blood Queen. Fuck yes.
I want fucking Abe so bad.
Abe Sapien again.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people, when this initially came up, were talking about, like, it's gonna be real hard to replace Ron Perlman as Hellboy. Like, it's gonna be real hard to replace Doug Jones for Abe. And we didn't see him in the trailer, so I don't even know if we're getting him in the movie.
I'm wondering if they don't stick more to the Hellboy aspect of this.
I mean, I'm fine with that, especially because if it is the Wild Hunt, like, Abe isn't part of that story. Because honestly, the BPRD stuff that would show up, depending on how close they stick to the source material, which if they divert, I'm not going to be mad about that. It's its own story, a good story.
Yeah,
would be that, like, during the time of the Wild Hunt in the comics, like, Hellboy's been out of BPRD for a long time. Like, he's not even a member anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, Abe wasn't around him at all. Like, most of the BPRD characters, if they showed up, were in, like, little flashbacks.
It's a cameo kind of thing. Yeah.
Which, for that perspective, like, Ian McShane as Professor Brutenholm, like, those are probably all flashbacks. Honestly, because he should be long dead.
Way dead.
Yeah. But, I mean, if it is the Wild Hunt, like, part of what comes up in the source material of that is Professor Brutenholm used to be, like, was a member of the Wild Hunt in his youth before Hellboy was on Earth. So that could be part of a flashback. And honestly, I'm fine with that because I'm just really looking forward to Ian McShane as him. I love that man.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to a fucking Hellboy movie at this point.
No shit. I wanted another one for so long.
It's been a long time.
And I know it's a reboot, but I'm still getting me another Hellboy movie, and I'm okay with that.
So I would have loved to have had the next Ron Perlman flick.
Yeah, I will always wonder how that trilogy was supposed to end.
Well, because the whole trilogy was good.
Yeah, the first two movies.
The whole two of the trilogy.
Jason will disagree. Like, he thinks Golden Army was trash.
It wasn't okay.
His main issue is that he feels like they didn't explore the Irish and the elves enough in it.
How could they? The movie was full anyway.
No, I personally disagree with him. I fucking love both of those movies so much. Golden Army is fantastic.
So it's funny. About a couple of months ago, Christopher was like, "Dad, what's that movie?" And because he wouldn't say Hellboy because he thought he was going to get in trouble for saying hell.
I mean,
and
that's good.
Respect
on
him for it. Respect him for it. But
Can't
I'm like,
be mad at that.
I'm like, oh, that's Hellboy. He's like, is it a horror movie? And I'm like, no, man, it's like a comic book movie. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. Do you want to? And it was the Golden Army. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, look, dude, if you want to watch this, I'm not going to let you watch this one first.
That's fair.
It wouldn't be appropriate.
No, I would say that they would need to watch the first one but I think that's more of a personal decision in so much as like down the road, kid, like, is it really going to matter which one they watch first? Especially because honestly, you can watch them separate. Like they're
two separate movies for certain.
Connected.
Yeah, it's two separate movies. You're right.
I think the third one was going to change that and make them much more connected. But
I took it.
Yeah.
That moment, and I was like, I found Hellboy 1, and I'm like, here you go, buddy. And he's like, Dad, this is freaking awesome. I'm like, I know. But he already loved Troll Hunters.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, Guillermo del Toro directed these movies. And he's like, what do you mean? And they mentioned Troll Market in the Golden Army, which is...
the Troll Market is one of the greatest scenes in a movie in a long time because most of it's not CGI.
Well, Troll Market's incredible too, though, because if you're into Troll Hunters, that whole fucking series happens in Troll Market for the most part.
Yeah.
So, have you watched that one yet?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't sat down to steady watch it.
You should watch the whole thing because it's very good. And then Mark Hamill shows up.
Maybe after I finish completing American Horror Story, I'll get on that.
I
like it.
You watched Dragon Prince, though.
Oh, yeah.
I went through fucking that. Good.
My only problem was the animation.
I didn't even care.
Well, I mean, like, the story's real. No, okay. I had one other problem because the girl who plays the elf.
Yeah.
Amazing. Her name. Great actress, bless her heart. It absolutely sounds like she picked up her Irish accent by watching Brave and going, I can do that.
I'm sure. But see, I didn't care about that.
I mean, it's just fake enough for me to notice that it is.
So,
which can be occasionally bothersome because she has a bad habit occasionally of slipping out of it.
Yeah. No, she does. She does for sure.
But still a great story. Still great actors, great characters. Loved it to death.
That was the best character development that I've seen in a cartoon.
Oh, it was so good.
Ever.
It was so good.
It was.
I cannot wait for season 2.
What they did was incredible because they take you. You start off and you being the viewer are trying to establish the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah, which is real hard because
you can't.
They do a great job at the beginning when they're giving you the info dump about the world.
Yeah.
Of establishing that no, both sides have been wrong.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Well, even as the characters develop, you're like, oh well, that's very human of them. Like that's normal.
No, and once you kind of figure out who like the mainline villain is, like he's still a really
he does human things.
Yeah. Like
I get it.
There are moments where you're just like, no, that's it.
I get it
for sure. Like he's got a nat 20 in fucking charisma.
Oh,
I'll tell
for
you
sure.
that much.
I will tell you.
And I love his kids. His kids are some of the best characters in the whole fucking
his
show.
His son is such a cunt.
Oh, he is, but in such a fun way.
No. Like,
and Claudia's like the best character in the whole series. His daughter.
Oh, she's incredible.
The goofy, like neurotic witch that is mildly evil.
So strong.
She's so beautiful. Like I want to play that character in a D&D game.
Right. Well, the son. Okay. What's his son's name? Fuck.
It's Sephron?
Sephron, yes.
I think.
It's something along the lines of that.
Something like that.
So he...
Should probably look it up.
Doesn't matter. He is incredible just because we all have that friend, and I think for a lot of people,
sure.
I'm that friend.
Yeah, I think we're both that friend to most of our friends.
So,
which is kind of weird when we're in a room
we're in
together,
the same room,
because we'll just fucking stack it on top of everything at someone, and they feel like we're trying to murder them with personal attacks.
Oh my god! And no, we're trying to murder the room with personal attacks.
Yes. No, we're our own roast.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes.
Without being asked for.
No, but he's incredible because you have this character that comes in and you're like, God, I fucking hate you. But he wants to do good. He wants to be the good guy.
Yeah.
He wants to make dad happy.
Yeah.
All very normal things.
He's just trying to be the best knight and be a dutiful son.
That character in particular is so stuck in the middle of everything, though.
Yeah.
More so than the naive daughter.
Oh, absolutely. No, he is 100% rock in a hard place.
Oh my God.
Is where he lives.
And it's so fucking good. Go watch the Dragon Prince, motherfuckers.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great.
Like I said, best character development I've ever seen in a cartoon.
And if you think the animation looks slightly weird, it's a artistic on purpose choice. They were trying to recreate like old school 70s hand-drawn animation
with the computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's got like half the frames of like Ruby, for example.
Well,
it looks a little weird and it takes a little getting used to. But if you binge the 9 episodes, by the time you hit the halfway mark of like the second episode, you're not even going to notice.
Well, half of the first episode, the first half of the first episode is you feel kind of lost, because you're getting that fucking dump, and it's
always like that with especially hardcore fantasy stuff. Like you have to get a dump about the world so you understand what's going on.
Avatar wasn't like that though.
Avatar had a dump.
It had a dump. It wasn't that heavy.
That's fair.
Avatar, and to be fair, that was designed more to kids, and this writer was way younger then. Yeah, I mean, we're talking 15 years ago.
This isn't as designed for children as Avatar was.
This is absolutely for the people that watched Avatar, fell in love with it, and then he's like, "We'll watch this."
Right. No, and I mean, like, you can definitely watch his change to adulthood just even from leaning into Korra.
Oh, right.
You didn't get an info dump with Korra because it's the next Avatar. Like, the info dump for Korra is Avatar.
Was fucking how many seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender? That was the info dump.
3. Yeah, that's that. That's the info dump. I think that's part of the reason I like Korra better, though, is it was more mature. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with kids programs, and Zuko is the best character out of both series completely, but I like Korra as a series better than Avatar.
I like both of them for different reasons. I don't like one over the other, though. So, The Last Airbender has this very, very naive and beautiful...
Yeah, no, it's... technical difficulties.
It has something that's just so innocent about it.
Yeah, no, it's a growing up story.
It is, but just even... You could tell that the writers, that the cast, like all of them were coming into their own with that one.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Korra was like, "Oh, we know what we're doing, and guess what? Here's some adult themes for you."
Yeah, no, that was much more at that point like finding yourself kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And it also had some of the most brutal shit to happen in a cartoon.
Fuck.
I mean, that's why season 3 got pulled off of the air and was only available on the app because they killed somebody on screen.
It needed to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
But it was so fucking good.
I can't even remember the villain's name now. The villain from season 3 is like the greatest villain out of both shows combined. I will go there. I've had this argument. Do you want to start with me?
Well, so
I can't remember his name, but he's the best villain.
So here's the thing. They've done such a good job with all of their villains.
Oh, yeah.
I like the lady that introduced bloodbending.
I think the reason I call him the best is because he's the scariest.
Because
he's the most agreeable.
I think he's also the most established. Like even Fire Lord Uza,
Ozai,
I'm sorry,
Mark Hamill.
Even Fire Lord Ozai though, he was not. We knew he was the bad guy. There was
right. We hid him behind a screen until halfway through season 3.
Basically, it was time for him to get dead.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, here he is. So, like, you didn't have, like, because he was a great villain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But pure evil. Like, there wasn't anything to like about him.
Right.
I know the character Zahir.
That was his
name.
Zahir.
Zahir
but
was
that's part of what
more
made
extreme.
He was an extremist, but an extremist you could believe in.
Well, you had to,
and so human.
Well, all of us have this anti-establishment thing that he was rocking. Like everybody, has something in them.
No, every teenager goes through that.
So when you watch that, you're just like, fuck, dude, yeah, I get it.
And when you really watch it, like his development as a character too is also like really sad because of him and his girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember her name. Plea, something like that. The explosion girl, the firebender of the group. Because he had the whole thing of mastering airbending and like the true dream of like flight.
Yep.
That he brought up several times, and it was very apparent to him, and like a little bit of reading into it that like he was okay not achieving that because he had to give up everything, and he loved Plea, so he wasn't going to do that.
That was the one thing that he wasn't willing to give up.
But then the moment she dies, he has no more earthly attachments.
Her being ripped away from him.
That is one of the saddest moments I've ever seen in a cartoon.
It was.
In a television show.
It was an incredible moment.
Oh, it was. It was brutal. It was beautiful. The animation was drastic. It was great. I loved every part about that.
Now that series was fucking fantastic. I remember
I need to go home and watch that shit now.
Well, going through it the first time, I'm expecting that same light feeling that I got initially from Avatar. And they start off no.
No. The only light feeling you get is the fact that she comes from what is still a traditional water tribe,
right?
And then she hits New York, basically,
and
discovers
it's
politics.
It's over.
Yeah.
Well, and the heavy political influence in that is, I think, one of the things that really kind of shifts things for the viewers. Like, I know for me, I was like, "Fuck, dude, did not expect this."
No, and that's part of what I loved about season 1 is because it hit a theme for that kind of world that
it set the tone.
Like in my mind a lot. Like just as an example, like I've always wondered in Star Wars why there was never an era where there was mass genocide of Force users just to solve the problem because there's so many people who aren't. And like that was the basis of Amon in season 1 was down with benders.
Amon was incredible too.
Yeah, no, and
fucking incredible.
And voiced by what was his name? Steve something. He did Spike, the American voice of Spike in Cowboy Bebop.
I don't know.
Amongst other things. I don't know. Every time I hear his voice, I know it's him because it's unmistakable and I'm automatically interested.
Well, it's kind of like Mark Hamill, though.
Yeah. You hear that voice, you're down.
So, what's so funny is we'll be watching a cartoon and I'll be like, oh, that's Mark Hamill. And my kids are like, huh? And I'm like, that's Luke Skywalker.
No, I did the same thing.
And they're like, no shit.
The first time we heard Firelord Ozai's voice, like, that's Mark Hamill. Like, they're talking about the live action we're going to get for Netflix.
Oh
and
I
was like, can we just cast Mark Hamill to do Ozai again? Or, honestly, can we get him for Iroh? Because he's
he'd be amazing.
And fat now. He'd be so good for Uncle Iroh.
You grow your beard out,
right?
All right? Grow your hair out, top knot, run around in a robe.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to love you. Nothing's really changing.
And we'll just put Dante Bosco in a Zuko costume.
Fuck
He
you.
built one already anyways for a convention.
So in.
I would watch that. I'll pretend he's fucking 12. I don't care. Well, 16.
Doesn't matter.
He's like 37. I'll pretend he's 16.
I don't care.
I don't
give a fuck.
It's fucking Dante Bosco, the champion of Zutara shipping.
Well, oh fuck, man. No, that is gonna be insane. That's why they put the Dragon Prince out there.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, guess what?
No, the only thing I don't like about it is I just want more of the world. I don't need to be retold this story. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like
with how they molested the movie.
That doesn't exist.
Like I said, it does.
It doesn't.
This is okay. This is why we can't talk about Star Wars.
No, because now I need a safe place because you're talking about the Avatar live action movie.
Exactly. Like I said,
so bad.
This is why we can't talk about Star Wars because there are things that you'll ignore that I won't.
No, there's thing I accept all things Star Wars. But that's a different conversation. We don't talk about that for other
This
reasons.
is going to be one of the last times we get to do this for a long The next time you come to town, I want you to call me as soon as you get in town.
I will be in town for Avengers 4.
Okay. As soon as it's over.
For anyone who listens and didn't know and wonders what I've been up to, I'm moving to Texas at the end of this week.
Yeah.
Which I'll probably be there by the time you hear this.
No, this will go up. I'll have this up in the next 2 days before Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Joe's going to be
Saturday. I'll be in Texas.
Joe's going to be gone very shortly after you listen to this, and then he's going to come back for Avengers 4, which is fucking a year from now.
Yeah, I promised Jason and a couple other people that I'd come back up so we could finish.
So then here's what we'll do. I'll work it out with Jason, and as soon as the movie's over, the three of us will sit down and do a review.
Oh, I'm down. I'm absolutely down.
Yeah, we'll buy a bottle of whiskey. Maybe we'll spring and spend $300 on one of these. Do it right.
We better order that in advance.
Do you have to order that shit in advance? I can't just say,
I don't know that anyone here carries it.
Oh, whatever. I'll order that shit online.
There's one small distillery on the Isle of Islay.
We'll figure it out.
That makes this.
Okay. You get me the info.
That's fine.
And we'll
take
care of it.
Tattoos with Jams that weekend too.
You're
getting
gonna have
BPRD tattoos.
Are you?
Yeah, because we're both we initially bonded over our love of Hellboy.
Okay.
And he's always loved Abe more, and I've loved Hellboy more. So we're both gonna get the BPRD symbol, and I'm gonna fill mine in red, and he's gonna fill in his in blue for their call signs.
Cute.
Blue and red.
Cute.
Because we're besties and cousins. Aww. So yeah.
Yeah, so...
Also, I need more fucking tattoos.
We'll record directly after the movie.
No, that's fine. That's perfect time to do it. It's nice and fresh.
I'll take off work the next day.
Okay.
And that's what we'll do.
Yeah, I'll probably be in town through the weekend, at least.
So we'll do that. So you guys will get Joe in about a year.
Yeah. Well, less than a year.
It's less than a year.
Like May.
It's May
when it's supposed to come out.
That's still that feels like a forever right now, doesn't it?
I mean, it's
you're gonna fucking blink
December,
and it'll be here.
January, February,
March, April, May. So it's like 7 months.
It's only 7 months.
But it's just one of those things. Like it's so weird because we're adults. We don't get to see each other every day.
No, we lead
realistically,
very busy lives.
It's every couple of months we'll get to.
Especially right now.
It's stupid. Well, it's been dumb for the past year.
Yeah, it's been dumb for the past year, and then I only made it worse for the last 3 months, telling everybody I was moving.
No, I mean that's
so
okay.
Everybody was hardcore trying to vie for my time.
Well, that's one of the reasons I've not been up your ass.
Yeah, no, there's definitely been people I haven't seen, and I apologize for that because I'm not gonna get a chance to at this point.
Yeah.
Not unless they want to come help me load a truck.
Well, you did make an event out of that.
And if they can't make it to that, like, that sucks. That'll be like, I haven't seen Capuano. He didn't make it to my party.
He said he was going to try to make it to the truck loading, though.
But he's also apparently busy that day, so he might not.
Mike's fucking that dude's busy every day.
I know his wife won't show up. Like, she doesn't like giant social events, and I don't blame her for that at all. So she probably won't come, and that makes me slightly sad because I love her as a person.
Shannon's a sweet person.
Yeah, she's great. I might just have to go over to their house this week at some point. I know I got to go down to Miniature Market and see Brodeur before I leave.
Yes, you do.
He'll be working while I'm packing.
Yeah. You know what's fucking crazy is like you've been here from the very, very infancy of this thing. Of Entertain the Geeky.
Yeah.
So like
I was on a lot of early episodes.
So it was like
and one unreleased one.
The
maybe D&D one that just you and I did after Roger went home.
Oh,
I don't think you ever dropped that one.
I might not have. I think so. I had an issue. No.
It was a good day.
We were drunk, and the computer, because that was my old computer at home.
Right.
That had a tendency of shutting itself down and deleting episodes if I had not saved them in such a way that they would be on the internet, basically.
Gotcha.
So
no, that's why I've
lost a few things.
Backup storage tower. I've got a 3 terabyte tower for my laptop, and that's where all of the episodes for my D&D podcast are going.
I'm building a new computer here in the next couple of months.
Okay.
When I do that, everything's going on an external hard drive. It's that whole I've learned my lesson thing.
Yeah.
But you fake it till you make it.
Oh, absolutely.
So Everything's been going on a shitty computer.
You don't turn into like Matt Mercer overnight.
No, God no.
I wish. Well, but no.
No, but what I was saying is it's so weird because like you've been doing this from the infancy. Like you were on the first. I mean, you were definitely on one of the first few episodes.
Yeah, at least one of the first 3 for sure.
And what's weird about that is we had no fucking clue what we were doing. Thank you.
Yeah, no clue.
And
those first like 12 episodes were all just random rants.
So,
but they were entertaining.
I mean, that was
other people. They were entertaining for us.
They were like, I'll go back and listen to them, and I'm like, fuck, that was good. That was good shit to listen to. But what's so weird about it is like I don't know, you've just always been there, and like a few months ago, I posted a picture of us doing the ecto cooler and all that.
Yeah, and that was a good night.
It was so good, and I remember all of us biting into those deep fried chocolate Twinkies and giggling like little girls.
Yeah, no.
And
I still prefer the regular ones.
Oh no, you liked the chocolate one.
No, don't get me wrong. I love the chocolate one. I still prefer the regular. It tastes exactly like funnel cake.
Okay,
and I love that. I haven't had them since that day.
That evening. I'm going to tell you right now, you're wrong. And I'm telling you this because I love you. Because...
the best of conversations.
So, we had a couple of different Twinkies that night.
Yeah, the chocolate ones and the regulars.
One made us laugh like idiots.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was the chocolate.
And it was the chocolate
because it was as soon as you bit in,
I will agree with that. Because it was fucking ridiculously good.
Oh my God. Fuck, dude.
But I promise you, if you go back and listen to that, I say I still prefer the regular, but the chocolate ones are still awesome.
I think you wanted to like the idea of the regular one better. You prick. No, man.
Whatever.
That was so much fun. And
dude, part of what I love about it too is like if you listen to old episodes of this, between this and Nerd News with Jason, like I predicted the end of Avengers 3.
Oh, you did.
Which the Russo brothers kept saying nobody's fucking got it.
No, you did.
Like there's proof on the internet that I called that shit like 2 years before.
You and I have talked about that a couple of times since you called that though. What's so fucked up about that? Okay, that was actually the show was brand new when you predicted that.
Yes,
it was brand new.
Yeah, and I kind of just pulled that out of my ass.
You did,
based on what was around. Like,
because we had
it could go this way.
We knew the movie was Infinity War, and then we thought it was Infinity War Part 2 at that point in time because that's how it had been presented.
No, so like I was definitely just going with the comic. Yeah,
okay,
that's what I brought it over for.
Well, I don't want to down all your delicious whiskey.
If you drink it, that means I don't have to pack it. But yeah, no, I predicted that largely based on like that's kind of what happened in the comics. Like we got to that point where like the snap happened and then we had to fix the snap, and based solely on the idea it was after Ultron that I made the prediction.
Yeah.
Like we had the mind, one of the stones in fucking Vision's head.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you know what would be beautiful storytelling is if the end of the first half of this, he kills Vision, rips it out of his head, and snap, then credits.
So we knew.
I also wanted no scene in the credits as well, which we did get.
I
fantastic.
I felt like we all knew in our heart what was going to happen to Vision,
which is great because I needed it to happen.
We knew that was going to happen. The ballsy move that they made, and the move that if you're not a comic book reader, you won't understand this. Sorry to be ya. But the ballsy move that they made was killing off all the new characters that they had introduced. All of them.
Yeah.
We have the big four. That's it.
Yeah, they left the original 4 and a couple
Ant-Man.
of like side characters.
Yeah, and then
we have Ant-Man,
Captain Marvel's coming.
What's her name? T'Challa's general.
Yes.
I can't remember her name. Like she's still alive.
Yeah.
And that's it.
It was fucking brutal.
Dude, the second time I went and saw that on purpose, when Bucky starts disappearing, I just shouted in the crowd, "My Bucky!"
Nice.
It needed to happen.
But yeah, like we all knew, we knew Vision was gone. I feel like you should anyway.
Yeah. If you're there's no way you didn't see that coming.
If you're a comic book reader, as soon as that movie ends, everybody's fine.
Right.
What pissed me off was everybody on the internet with their crybaby bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad, Peter and T'Challa. And I'm like,
yeah, it was sad.
I'm
but
like,
it's
bitch,
part of a story.
I'm like, listen, they just introduced the Black Panther.
Yeah.
We got our first MCU.
We've already confirmed Black Panther 2 happening. There's no way he doesn't come back.
I'm like, we've got our first MCU story with fucking Spider-Man, and we know there's another one. We got our first one with Black Panther.
So, if I understand correctly, I think Far From Home's supposed to take place in between the two.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So, I mean, that's not confirmation of his life. The confirmation is the fact that Tom Holland can't keep a fucking secret.
That's why he was not in Venom.
One. Yeah.
Because he doesn't exist right now.
I mean,
in Venom.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Venom was so good.
It was fun. I had my issues with it. It wasn't perfect.
The pacing was weird.
Pacing fucking sucked.
Jason and I and Jams, along with Cedric, actually, because he was there.
That guy. Yeah, he was.
We're talking about it afterwards, and we were actually laughing because the pacing, as goofy as it seems, is perfect for a comic book movie, in so much as a normal comic book arc is 6 issues, right? The first 4 are fucking build up. You get a issue and a half of action, and then half an issue of
closure.
Aftermath.
Yeah,
and literally that's what the movie did.
So
it's kind of perfect for a comic book movie, but it's still fucking goofy to watch.
I've been an advocate for Suicide Squad because of a very I said that was the only comic book movie that's actually felt like watching a comic book.
Oh no, absolutely. I got that the moment they started doing the setup of each character.
It was incredible.
Backgrounds,
yeah,
that was 100% comic.
They did it better.
Oh, for sure.
But
no, that's part of the reason Suicide Squad is so rewatchable for me.
That's part of the reason why it did so poorly.
Unfortunately,
because people don't read comic books.
But they also should have left the couple scenes they took out in.
Well, okay, so I've been saying this for forever.
One of them, in my opinion,
Joker and Harley in the vat.
Yeah, just because it leans a little too hard into the idea of Joker loving her,
but he owns her,
right? Which one of the scenes they took out is after his escape from Arkham, and she's chasing him down and bitchy that he just left her behind. They did a great job of making it apparent that you're fucking property to me. They should have left that scene in.
Well, it's because some assholes that don't watch comic books or don't read comic books were like, oh, love. No.
Yeah. No,
that's not what this shit is.
You don't want a relationship like Joker and Harley. You want it like Morticia and Gomez Adams.
Oh my God, don't you though?
The perfect relationship. Let's be real.
Okay. There's not one better.
No, there isn't.
What do you have to worry about in a relationship? Money, infidelity, all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what those two don't have to worry about? All of it.
Right?
It's fucking perfect.
Did we just turn into Who Wears the Pants? Because I feel like we did.
Well, basically. But no, so the pacing was very off, and that was one of the things that kind of made the movie unenjoyable for me.
Yeah, the pacing was goofy. I thought the CGI was good, though, and I really enjoyed
best
Tom
Venom
Hardy
we've seen on screen.
Oh, absolutely. Not that we have much
we didn't have much to go on, but we got a big menacing monster this time. We did not get the skinny kid from that 70s show wearing a black Spider-Man suit.
What I liked and didn't expect was how much comic relief we got from Venom himself. Because they took his the morbid side of Venom and just pushed it slightly towards goofy, and it worked really well.
It did.
The only thing, honestly, besides the pacing that really disappointed me was that Woody Harrelson and Carnage was wasted on a after
3
credit
seconds.
Scene.
Yeah. That was bullshit.
But the movie's doing so well, there's no way we're not getting a second one.
Well, the movie...
it's honestly been doing exceptionally well.
So first of all, Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Fuck you guys. I hope you're listening to this because there have been great things that you guys have thumbs down. Go fuck yourselves.
No, there was fucking comments about it felt too comic booky. It's a fucking comic book film. Why are you watching it?
Am I allowed to say kill yourself? I can say whatever I want. Kill yourself.
No. There's precedent set now that you can't tell people to do that because then you're liable as manslaughter.
Oh, okay.
There is precedent set for that.
Okay.
So don't actually kill yourself.
Don't harm yourself.
But I don't fucking like you.
But deeply consider your life.
Yeah. Reevaluate your situation. But no, like it's been number one for 2 weeks. Like, it's honestly doing really well in the box office. So they're definitely making a second one. Woody Harrelson's already come out and said, like, he's down for it. He's super stoked.
Well, no shit, dude. And Woody Harrelson's going to get to play fucking Carnage. I mean,
yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. No, he's going to be Cassidy Clay. Like, I'm stoked as fuck for that. That's a beautifully perfect
Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah, not Cassidy
I've been drinking.
That's all right. I have too.
That's fair. I'm also not as big of a Spider-Man fan as you, so you're allowed to correct me.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I am more... Most of my Spider-Man knowledge is... I know a lot, okay? I've been into it for a long time. Yeah. And it's funny, I was talking to Tara about Venom.
No, you're on Spider-Man like I am on Hellboy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was talking to Tara about Venom after we went and saw the movie, and she's like, well, you know, why is it this way, and has anybody else worn it? And I was like, yes, the best person ever wear it was Flash.
Yes.
And she was like, Flash? And I'm like, Flash Thompson. She's like, the bully? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Best Venom ever.
Oh, absolutely.
And longest run outside of Eddie Brock.
I read a lot of that run too,
because
and it was exceptionally
fucking incredible.
Good.
And even when he was a Guardian of the Galaxy, you're like, "Fuck, dude, I'm in."
Yeah,
the whole thing was good.
He's a little too goody two shoes at that point, in my opinion. But based on the person he's possessing, and B, the situation, it makes sense, and I don't have a problem with it.
The situation was very different. So when it's so bizarre because there's my favorite Spider-Man character is Scarlet Spider, Kane.
Specifically.
Yeah, Kane.
Not Ben Reilly.
Kane.
Because Kane's suit was way better than Ben Reilly's.
Kane is a better character.
Yes.
Than Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly's fucking boring. Kane is amazing. And
no, that's one suit I was sad they didn't include in the new Spider-Man game. They don't have they have Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly.
It'll be there. Don't worry.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure they'll have a DLC, but currently,
basically,
anyways,
Ben Reilly, or not Ben Reilly, fuck, you had me talking about
I'm sorry.
Kane, Scarlet Spider Kane, and Flash Thompson's Venom go after Carnage at one point.
Yeah.
And the Scarlet Spider is like, he is a character that is so relatable because he struggles with, I should not do this because I'm supposed to be good, but I have to do this because of the greater good.
Right.
So when they finally catch Carnage, he lobotomizes him.
Yeah.
And it's fucking badass. Like, so cool. And Flash Thompson is like, you can't do that. No.
Yeah.
And you know, Kane's like, no, I had to do this. Like, this is how things had to unfold.
Yeah.
And then you find out, oh, well, fucking, yeah, you lobotomized him, but it's like all Carnage
he's
now.
He's like the Spider-Man equivalent of Red Hood.
Oh, he's
from
so
Batman.
Fucking cool,
and
man.
that's part of the reason I like him so much.
That's why
as
he's
a character.
good.
Yeah.
Have you read that whole arc?
No.
Okay.
No, I missed honestly like the beginning parts of it, but I read the rest of it.
You need to read the beginning of it because you'll appreciate it. But the whole thing is so fucking good.
I need to add it to my collection. It's one of the incomplete series in my collection that I've been meaning to top off. I just haven't gotten around to it.
So I saw number 1 sitting on the shelves years ago. I mean, it's been 7 years ago now, or 6 years ago now.
Right.
And I picked it up and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna read this.
Read
it and I was sucked in. And I was like, all right, this is actually really good. I wasn't reading Spider-Man at that point in time.
Right.
I didn't give a shit. About a year or so later, Superior Spider-Man starts happening. Amazing.
Dude, Superior Spider-Man was
so fucking good.
I'm so glad it's coming back.
So there's all these amazing things going on in the Spider-Man world all at once, and then people were fucking crying. You can't get rid of Peter. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's better without him.
Yeah, no. Peter's a fucking tool. Doc Ock was a way better Spider-Man than he ever was.
And the end of Superior Spider-Man had the best fucking line ever, and it did not come from Peter Parker. It came from Doc Ock. It was, you have to be the one that does this. You are the Superior Spider-Man. I get goosebumps saying it now.
Right. No, it was such a good fucking moment.
Yeah, Peter Parker's better at being Spider-Man than anybody. Nobody can do it as well as he can.
Yeah, no, Miles Morales is a fucking tool.
He can't do it like Pete.
No, nobody can.
Pete's too good.
Yeah.
He's too innocent.
Yeah.
Like, there's something perfect about him.
No matter how old he gets.
Right. He's 30 now. And
right.
Still a baby.
Right. No, absolutely.
But he's incredible. And then, Doc Ock has to tip his hat to him. And, like, that was one of the greatest panels ever. There are several panels, and I guess this is something that we should probably get into in a second here. What panels are most influential for you, or most just like fuck when you see them in a comic?
In general, I'm trying to think of a way to describe. Yeah,
I'll start. So,
you start. Give me some examples.
So that panel's one of them for me.
Okay.
Anytime I think about it, I get goosebumps. I almost tear up a little bit. It's incredible. Another one is in one of the worst comic arcs ever.
Okay.
Fear Itself.
Okay.
Captain America gets Mjolnir.
Oh, yeah.
And that is incredible at that point in time.
Yeah. Like, Fear Itself wasn't good.
It was bad. Like I said,
that moment was beautiful.
Incredible. And when you see that panel, there's something inside of you that's like, yes.
Yeah.
And I literally, I have goosebumps now thinking about it. Like, I turned the page and I saw that and I was like, oh, fuck. It's so good.
I think as far as at least recent ones,
it can be anything. It can be old, new.
Yeah. I'm just, the ones that come to mind at the moment are recent just because I've read them that way. Is I think one of the most influential one, like most kind of ones for me was when DC did their Rebirth.
Okay.
The very first issue of Batman Rebirth involved a plane crashing into Gotham, and Batman was doing everything he could to, stop it from killing a bunch of people, which ended up with him like on top of it, like realigning its tail wings to get it to turn out of the way. And at that point he was basically all right, this is my final act kind of moment.
Yeah.
And like, we've seen moments like that from Batman before, for sure, of like, I'm going down, sacrificing myself for it. What we didn't have was a panel where he's talking to Alfred specifically, and he's talking about where it's going to land and stuff at first, and all those Batman very methodical moments, and then you just suddenly get, do you think they'd be proud, Mom and Dad?
Oh, that's incredible.
Batman. Yeah, like, fuck, that punched me in the face, and it's perfectly laid out too, because it's like the last panel on one page before you have to turn it.
That's like incredible.
Yeah, no, Tom King needs an award for that one. It was so good.
That's incredible.
Yeah, like that. Right now, like, my whole body goosebumps just thinking about it.
How can you not be?
One of my favorite panels.
Like, you said it, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I felt like, tears coming to my eyes as he was saying that.
Batman,
I was like, oh.
Batman's convinced he's gonna die, and his last thoughts are, "Do you think my parents would be proud of me?
Was I good enough?"
Yeah,
that's
like,
so incredible.
Yeah, no, brilliant piece of writing. Easily out of all time, one of my favorite panels ever of anything.
That's where we're going to end this one.
Yeah, no, that's a good... Well, can I give one more thought?
Yeah, please.
Just that, as far as the Venom movie is concerned.
Yes.
It did something that I think is A, very 90s, and B, needs to make a comeback for movies. It was a popular thing when we were kids to have some big music star do a soundtrack theme. And Eminem with the Venom for the exit for the movie. Perfect. Venom. I love that song so much because of that.
Is it bad that my kids are obsessed with that song?
It's a great song.
It's fucking awesome.
No, it's a great song, great beat, great track, and I need that to be more of a thing in comic book movies again. Like
that one song.
Now, can we get Post Malone to write a song for Avengers 4?
No.
But I think if you asked the
Foo Fighters could do
it better.
I'd
be okay with that.
Dude, if the fucking Foo Fighters came and wrote a song for Avengers 4, I'd be jerking off.
You just let Dave Grohl do what he wants at this point.
You sit down, you shut up, and you say, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
No, he's a scroll for sure. We listen to him too
much. Don't we, though? Anything that he says, you're like, yeah, you've got to be right,
yeah.
Dave.
Foo Fighters.
Dear listeners, do me a favor. Get in the comments, wherever the fuck you're listening to this, and tell us what your favorite comic book panel ever is. Just one of those moments that grips you, like Joe and I were just speaking about.
No, that'd be great.
If it's something that I haven't read, I'll fucking read that shit. And I know Joe's the same way.
Yeah.
And
if you're in the Dallas area, you'll find me occasionally hanging out at Madness Comics in Plano.
There you go.
Is it Plano? It might be Plano. I'm not sure. It's like right near the city line between Plano and Dallas.
I need to just make a trip to Texas.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
I might do that before you come back here.
I mean, that's fine.
Because
I've got a 3-bedroom house.
Well, I've got family out there and friends out there that I haven't visited yet that I need to.
I'll have a guest room for you and your wife and a separate guest room for your children.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, let us know about your favorite comic book moment.
And subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Go to entertainthegeeky.com. Guys, we have not been your source for nerd news lately. We've been off our rocker, and I apologize.
Things have been hectic for everybody all around.
It has been all personal life shit, and sorry. I mean, that's all I got. And I'll speak on behalf of everybody. Sorry. We love you. Go to entertainthegeeky.com. Like, comment, subscribe. If you say shit there, it will come to my phone, and I will respond to it. I swear to you.
I get those notifications.
Joe gets those notifications. Yeah. Joe will respond to you. So
generally,
do that shit. Also,
as long as I'm not on a car that's blown up.
Right. Also, if you're on our Facebook page, clicking around, blah blah blah, and you're like, "Fuck, man, I love this comic book stuff. I wish I could do more with it." I'll tell you what. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go to entertainthegeeky.com, click the Contact Us tab, and let me know, and I will gladly let you write articles and stuff. They'll have to be pre-approved, of course, because I'm not going to let you talk about molesting, aliens or anything like that. Maybe I will. I don't know.
I mean,
but no. Once I get to trust you, you will be one of our writing staff, and we would love to have you aboard. As always, guys. Hold on, wait, Joe.
What?
You got parting words of wisdom?
Parting words of wisdom. Never make an excuse for what you enjoy.
That was fucking awesome. As always, stay geeky.